I'm Dennis Zacco. I'm professor of finance, and I teach the impact investing course as one of the finance courses that I teach in the School of Business. The impact investing, it's a very exciting field. It's the investing in companies that have a social impact on society. So it's a challenge to the venture capital firms who are organized to do this. Their challenge is that they are expecting, their investors are expecting a financial return for their investments, but they're also expecting that the companies that they invest in are going to have a social impact on society. And these are companies that typically are not able to get funding for their ventures from the regular sources, regular venture capital firms. So these are special venture capital firms that are called impact investing firms. They're organized in the same way as venture capital firms, but their focus is different. Their focus is to invest to not only provide a financial return for their investors, but also to have a social impact on society. It's really exciting for me to teach the course and for the students to take the course in these different locations. Last year it was Amsterdam. This year it will be Lisbon and Madrid. And the European cities are, I would say, much more advanced than we are in the United States on providing an ecosystem for impact investing. So there are a lot of resources that are available in these different cities to take advantage of. And the way that I organize the course is that because we are in these great locations, I not only try to bring those locations into the course, but also take the course into the locations. So I'll tell you how I do that. When I taught the course in Amsterdam, and I expect to do exactly the same thing here, I contact impact investing firms in those cities and have the general partners from those firms come in and discuss what their firm does with the students, what opportunities there are for someone entering the field. So I had a general partner come in from a firm that is involved specifically with ocean sustainability. I had another consultant come in who helps the impact investing firms find investors. And I had another young man come in who was in his first year with the impact investing firm. So he gave a little idea of what the beginning of a career would be like for someone entering that field. These entrepreneurs who are in the impact investing area, they need even more passion because the road is so much tougher for them. They're not graduates from MIT or Stanford who have the venture capitalists knocking on their door wanting to give them money. They're just looking for any help they can get. And these investors who put money in the impact investing firms, they want their money to do some social good. So there's so much good involved in this whole area, and that's why it's so fulfilling to teach the course. And most of the students who come into the course don't know what impact investing is. And when they find out what it is, they're so excited about it, and some of them want to have it as their careers. So that's very rewarding for me.
Hi, I'm Denise Diamond, Professor of Economics, Director of the Aller Center, and Associate Provost for International Affairs. And I'm going to be teaching Law, Policy, and Ethics in Global Business in Madrid and Lisbon this summer. This is a required course for all MBA students, which really means that it's a course that the learnings are considered important enough that all of our students in our MBA programs, both our full-time and professional MBA programs, need to take this course. And what makes it exciting to take it internationally is that we're looking at issues of policy, ethics, law in global business in a global business environment. So there's so many topics that you could cover with the range there. And what we try to do is we pick, and I say we because I'm going to be team teaching this summer with Dr. Jaime Alonso Gomez, former dean of the School of Business and professor of management here at USD. And he brings in a lot of international experience as well. So we're going to touch on some topics, and the course sort of centers around non-market strategy. And so what does that mean? I mean, in most of your MBA courses, you're really talking about issues related to strategy, whether it's in marketing or finance, how to help companies grow, maybe how to expand, how to be more competitive, and it's all kind of in a market framework. Well, sometimes we need to think about non-market issues. For example, what could happen with the media and how your company and actions could be perceived in one country could be very different than another, especially if you're involved in a global business environment. So, I mean, we have media, we have activists, we have regulatory policies, we have all of these things, government, we have all of these things that are different in one place and another, but companies need to prepare for these things too. Now, some things, of course, companies can't always prepare for, and we know, like, there could be a pandemic, there could be a change in trade regulations, but even still, you need to kind of be aware that these things could happen, and how would you respond to them? And so this course looks at topics within the law, policy, with government regulations, ethical considerations, from a global perspective, and how companies can respond to that. One thing that maybe you hear in the news recently is companies actually becoming activists in social causes. What are some of the implications of this? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Or do they have to do it because the customers are demanding it? That's the kind of way, the kind of non-market strategy that companies might have to take that would be different than improving their product, improving their message, but it's also a strategy that companies need to take today in a global environment. So we'll be visiting some companies, we'll be having some guest speakers, and we will be able to take advantage of being in Europe, in Spain, in Portugal, and incorporating some of these topics in this class. So I hope you'll consider joining, and look forward to working and learning with you this summer in Madrid and Lisbon.
I'm Carsten Zimmerman. I'm an associate professor here in the business school. I teach a lot of the MBA strategy and innovation classes. And I think one of the best classes we're offering is Global Innovation in Lisbon, Madrid. There's several reasons for this, so maybe let me walk you through some of the backgrounds of this and why I think that class is such a phenomenal class. In terms of components, the class has two major components, like a general innovation class. I think it covers the major essences of innovation, as a lot of the current employers are requiring that in terms of knowledge. And then the second part of the class has, I think, a very international link to innovation. So, for example, let me give you two examples. Open innovation opens up the innovation pipeline, and it brings in international suppliers, international customers to this, and that needs to be understood. So I think it's a phenomenal way of understanding the international innovation link. And then the second one is how, for example, in international mergers, innovation happens, and for what reason that link is actually so important. So the class is taught in two phenomenal cities in Europe. If I could pick two cities, I don't think I would choose any other city. Madrid is the hub in Spain. It's the epicenter there, and it's like on all different facets of the country. I think a wonderful representative of Spain. Lisbon is the hidden gem in Europe, from my perspective. It has not only wonderful culture and history, but also like wonderful and very friendly people. And I think mixing that up in that area, and bringing that together is, I think, one of the best positioning of a class. Now that said, the class itself is only 2 weeks. It's in the it's in the end of May and beginning of June. It covers a lot of the different essences of this, and it's only offered in Lisbon and Madrid. So I think if you want to bring together a lot on innovation combined with internationalization, that is the one to go to, and we only offer it abroad. Now I don't, because it has a bit of a European and a slightly agile component, it makes sense to co-teach this. So we co-teach it with the current MBA director out of Amsterdam. So he has an engineering background, brings a lot of that knowledge in, and I think the combination of this makes it a very viable, very interactive, very playful, but also very high in learning class. So in terms of like a personal competitive advantage, where the class really provides a lot of input, is for people with a bit of innovation and corporate entrepreneurship in their future career paths. And for a long time ago, that would have been only a small percentage of our students, but now I think the majority of our students have jobs waiting for them that actually do have that type of trajectory. So for example, it fits into corporate entrepreneurship. So if you want to work in an R&D unit in one of the big corporations, if you want to work in a small business, if you want to work in the family business, if you want to work in industry in the innovation areas, if you want to work in administration in the innovation areas, I think it's essential to have that skill set, because see it more like there's 10 different types of innovation, and if you apply the wrong type to the wrong problem, it doesn't really help. So it makes a lot of sense to apply the right type to the right problem, and I think that is something we can look